So yeah, The Boys Season 4 has officially concluded, and it was a mostly pretty fun time, you know, a little controversial, but it was pretty fun, and it was great to see these characters again, especially Homelander, you know, it's always great to see him, and in honor of the season finale happening almost a week ago from now, I'm going to be ranking the entire Boys universe using a tier list. That will obviously be including the first 4 seasons of The Boys, and its spin-offs, which will be including the Boys Diabolical animated series that they released a couple years ago, and of course, Gen V Season 1 that I'm pretty sure they released last year, and that's going to be it. So, not a crazy tier list, but it should be a lot of fun. So let's get started with the first 4 seasons of The Boys, starting off with The Boys Season 1. I'm just going to start off by saying that I fucking love the first season of The Boys. It is awesome. Like, I remember when, you know, it was around when I started watching the show, I knew nothing about it. I didn't know who Homelander was. I didn't know anything about the show until one night I randomly just asked my brother Brody if, you know, is The Boys a good show? Should I check it out? He was like, yes, definitely check it out. So then I finally sat down, I watched the first episode, and I was like, holy shit, this is good. It was only the first episode as well. Like, usually, you know, it takes a bit of time to get used to, you know, watching a new show and stuff, but straight off the bat, the first episode, I was already invested. I was already hooked. I wanted to keep watching it throughout. The way it invests you so quickly was honestly really impressive. You know, starting straight off the bat with, what, A-Train running over Huey's girlfriend, like, a great start, honestly. It was a great start and really shows how the rest of the season's what it's gonna feel like, what it's gonna be like, and it was a really good start. Butcher, Huey, MM, Frenchie, like all of the boys, you love all of these characters. Like a few of the characters like Frenchie and MM, like at first when I saw them, I was like, am I really gonna like these characters? They seem like they're gonna be kind of unlikable, but as the show kept going, I quickly got so invested into their characters. It was like, holy shit, I want to keep watching them. I hope they don't die and get fucking lasered by Homelander or whatever. And they were really fun characters, and their what do you want to call it, dynamics with each other, or their banter. It was all great. It was fun to watch. Homelander, of course, played by Anthony Starr, was scary as hell. I know he gets a lot more intimidating as the seasons go on, and he becomes a lot more insane. In this season, he's a little more sane compared to the later seasons, which, you know, still makes him kind of scary. It makes him a little more serious, and yeah, there are definitely some scary scenes with him. And one of the best scenes throughout this entire show is the plane sequence with, you know, Queen Maeve and Homelander on the plane, and they just let everyone on that plane die. That is easily one of the best scenes in the entire show. I still love that scene because it's a genuinely terrifying scene, and I wish we got more scenes like this. Like, you know, I don't remember getting one single scene like that in season 4. Like, seriously, that was a genuinely terrifying scene, and I loved it. The season finale was also really good. I know some people might feel like, oh, the season finale was kind of mid, it didn't really feel like a finale. Like, you could say that, but then you remember the whole scene between Butcher and Homelander, you know, them meeting each other for the first time, and their, you know, how it like kind of all, you know, built up to that moment. It was like awesome, and I thought it was good enough for a finale. I thought that whole scene between those two was so scary, and it was amazing, dude. I love that scene so much. And yeah, I love the first season of The Boys. The way it just invests you into the story of these characters so quickly is honestly impressive. Homelander was scary, and I just loved all of these characters. Like, even Starlight, I know she becomes a little more annoying as the later seasons go on, but I liked Huey and Starlight's relationship. That was also really interesting and fun to watch. And all these characters, The Boys, Butcher, MM, Kimiko, everybody, I loved all these characters. It was a great start, a great introduction to this world, and I loved the first season of The Boys. It is awesome, and I'm gonna put an S. It fucking deserves it, man. It is a great start to The Boys universe. It is awesome. And yeah, moving on to The Boys Season 2. Although not as good as Season 1, I still fucking love Season 2 of The Boys. I had a great time with it. I know some people don't really like it as much as, you know, Season 1 or even Season 3, but I still had a good time with it. I know some people don't really like the new character Stormfront, who's, you know, basically a new villain working alongside Homelander. A lot of people don't really like her, and at first I didn't really like her either. I just found her completely annoying and just like, why is she here? Why does she have to be in this? Why is she here? Until the scene where she goes up against Kimiko and her brother, and obviously ends up killing her brother. It was that scene when I realized, okay, I don't like this character, but I don't like her because she's kind of terrifying and she's fucking evil. At first I didn't like her because she was just annoying, but now I don't like her because she's fucking terrifying and evil. Of course, later on it is revealed that she is a Nazi, so yeah, it does get pretty crazy and a little weird, but overall, she was okay. She was alright. Other than that, everything else was great. All the characters, the boys themselves, Huey, Frenchie, MM, Butcher, everyone, it was great to see them again, and they're all still fun to watch. That hasn't really changed at all. Homelander is still scary, and obviously you can tell he's becoming more and more insane as as it goes on, and as seasons progress, you can tell he's just becoming. It looks like he could fucking snap any moment. And that's what's so fun about Homelander. It's just like any moment, any second, he could just snap and he could just lose his fucking mind and kill everybody. So that's what makes, Anthony Starr and Homelander so much fun to watch. And yeah, he's pretty scary in this season. He's also a dad now, looking after his son, and that's all going pretty well. And yeah, and we also got Butcher's wife showing up this season, and that was all fun to watch. I really enjoyed that aspect of the season with Butcher, reuniting with his wife. And the season finale was also pretty good, I'd say. It actually felt more like a finale compared to season 1. I still love season 1's finale, but compared to season 2's finale, it just felt bigger, and it felt more just like a finale, and it felt a lot crazier. So I'll give it that. Season 2's finale did feel a little more fun, while season 1's felt a little more intense, I guess. I don't know. And overall, loved the second season of The Boys. It was a great continuation. Obviously not as good as the first season, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. I'm gonna put an S. It's fairly close. And yeah, now moving on to The Boys Season 3. This is gonna be no surprise, but I fucking love the third season of The Boys. It was great. I'd say it was a tad bit better than Season 2, because there was just a lot of really great things about it, especially, I guess you can say the highlight of Season 3 is Soldier Boy, the introduction of Soldier Boy into the boys' world. Obviously, for the first few episodes, he's kind of seen in flashbacks in, early days, I think. But then when we finally get to see Soldier Boy unite with the boys, that's where it gets really fun, and it gets pretty cool. And not only is he, pretty intimidating, he's also kind of funny. I think the actor does a pretty good job. Because, he doesn't really know what the hell's going on. He doesn't know what kind of world he's living in anymore. And no surprise, everyone else is pretty great. Everyone else is pretty fun to watch. I think Starlight, this is where Starlight does get a little irritating for me. I don't know, just Huey and Starlight's relationship starts to kind of fall apart a bit. I don't know, their relationship just wasn't as fun to watch this time around, but other than that, I don't know. I still enjoyed their characters, but, their relationship was a bit, I don't know, a little iffy this time around. Homelander was, scary, as always, but, a little bit funny.
Yummers.
And of course, we see Butcher have some, what's it called, Temp V or something, where, he gets superpowers, he has, laser eyes, just like Homelander, yeah. And of course, leads to this really awesome fight scene in the, what was it called, the Hero-gasm episode, where they have just a huge fight. It's Butcher, Homelander, and Soldier Boy, and I guess Huey, just having a huge fight, and that was really cool. So that was a really exciting moment. Oh my god, the entire Hero-gasm episode, man, Jesus Christ, I don't know what the fuck that was, but overall, yeah, Season 3 was great. I didn't mind the finale too much. It at least sort of felt like a finale, and the way it ended with, the iconic shot of Homelander going, ha ha ha, alright, all that shit, the ending of the way the whole season ended, it was obviously kind of like a cliffhanger, but it was a good little cliffhanger. It was kind of a creepy way to end it, with the last shot just, being on Ryan's face. It was a little creepy way to end the season, so I didn't mind that too much, and, the overall finale was fine. It was I can't say if it was better than Season 2, but it was good enough. It was fine with me. So yeah, overall, Season 3 was great. I loved it. Like I said, I did like it a tad bit more than Season 2. I think I enjoyed it more. There was definitely a lot more things to appreciate, especially Soldier Boy, and it was still fun to watch, and I still, of course, love all these characters, and I'm gonna put an S. Like I said, a tad bit better than Season 2, and I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, Season 3 was great, man. It was awesome. But now, time to move on to The Boys Season 4. Yes, the newly released Season 4 of The Boys, and I'm a little scared talking about this, because it was obviously a very controversial season, with a lot of choices that were made, throughout the season. A lot of people were very unhappy with a lot of stuff that happened throughout this whole season, and what did I overall think of it? I thought it was good, but unfortunately, it was easily the weakest season of The Boys that we have gotten so far. We'll just have to wait and see how Season 5 goes, but as of right now, Season 4 is easily just the weakest. For most of it, I was, pretty entertained, and I was having fun with it, and I was enjoying these characters, and, but compared to the first 3 seasons, it just wasn't it. It just wasn't as good or as amazing as those other 3 seasons. A lot of choices that were made, particularly with, Frenchie and him, being gay with, I don't even remember his name, Colin? I don't even remember his name. Being with him for the first couple episodes, and it did kind of confuse me. I was like, wait, Frenchie's gay? Did I miss something? I didn't know Frenchie was gay. And apparently, yeah, that was just kind of something they just sort of shoved into the season and had Frenchie gay, because why not? And that was a bit of an issue. Now, yes, obviously at the end, Frenchie and Kimiko did end up being together at the very end in the finale, which, okay, awesome, that was great to see, but like, why did we have to have this whole Colin Frenchie thing going on? It wasn't even that interesting, really. Let's just have Frenchie and Kimiko be together. Come on, what are you doing? There were a few episodes that I didn't really enjoy all that much, particularly the farm episode. I know a lot of people maybe enjoyed the animals and stuff, and the animal beat up sheep and all that. I don't know. That was easily my least favorite episode. I don't know. Something felt off about it, and I wasn't really having fun with it. It just, I don't know, wasn't for me. Didn't really enjoy it. But either way, there were still some really, really great things that happened throughout this whole season, like the entire episode with Homelander going to the lab and killing all of those people that, he was, who experimented on him for all those years and stuff. Great episode. It was awesome. Homelander was, of course, intimidating. Maybe the most intimidating thing he did throughout this whole fucking season. All that was great. It was really after that where that's kind of all he did, and for the screen time that he had for the rest of the season, it was just, he just did some really weird shit. I didn't mind the whole party episode with, the boys going into the party and, with, I think, Tech Knight's party and, Homelander's there and everyone's there. It's like, that was a pretty good episode, because I at least was, feeling pretty... It was a bit of a tense episode, so I'll give it that. I didn't mind that episode too much. That was kind of fun. I didn't mind the finale too much. It was kind of cool. It does make me excited for Season 5 and what they're going to do next, with all the boys being taken and stuff, and... yeah, I guess Homelander is now president, is going to make like an army of superheroes and all that. It's going to get crazy in Season 5. I'm looking forward to it, but I do wish Season 4 did a little bit more. And yeah, I wish it was a little bit better, but I still had a good time. I'm going to put an A. I can't say it deserves an S, because it just really wasn't amazing as those first 3 seasons. So, but it was solid. I wasn't bored, and I enjoyed it through most of it. So that's why I'm just putting in A. But yeah, that's it. It's easily just the weakest season of out of them all. It's just didn't hit as hard, unfortunately, but I still sort of enjoyed it. But either way, now it's time to move on to the spin-off, starting off with The Boys Presents Diabolical. Yes, The Boys Diabolical, which was an animated series that came out, I think, right before Season 3 of The Boys was coming out, and after finishing the first 3 seasons, I had no interest in watching it. I didn't care. It didn't really interest me. I was like, I'm gonna skip this. But then, I think it was right before Season 4 was coming out, and I was like, oh, I haven't watched this, maybe I should check it out and see what it's like, and see if it's any good before, Season 4 comes out. So I gave it a watch, and, yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to talk about it because, every single episode, it's kind of like its own little thing. It's all, all the 8 episodes in the show it's all different stories. They're not really connected at all. It's just, all of them are just different stories that take place in the Boys universe, but they're not at all connected to each other at all. So it's kind of hard to talk about them as a whole. I guess as a whole, the show I'd say it's pretty solid. It's pretty good. I do like how every episode kind of has its own style to it, like its own animation style. I thought that was really cool and very creative, and I thought that was, good. Episodes that really stood out to me was, I'd say, the first episode with the whole Looney Tunes style animation with, all the blood and stuff. And, the second episode with, a bunch of soups killing their parents was also kind of fun and had some funny moments. A very emotional episode. I think it may have been episode 7. Like a very serious episode with like an elderly couple. And it was weird because it was really emotional. It was more like, it wasn't really funny at all. It was more of a really serious, emotional episode. So that was kind of interesting. And of course, the final episode with it being basically a backstory for Homelander. So, and also the creator said that episode is apparently possibly canon to the actual Boys universe, because it's a full-on backstory for Homelander for when he became the Homelander. And he's of course voiced by Anthony Starr, Homelander himself. So that was, good. Give that a good thumbs up. That was cool. Yeah, that was a really cool episode. I really enjoyed that. That was good. And as a whole, the show's good. I mean, I didn't love every single episode, so that's why I'm not gonna say it's an amazing show. I mean, episodes that I didn't really like was, there was one episode of a girl who was best friends with her own shit. I didn't really enjoy that. Didn't really find it funny. It was not that good. But a lot of the episodes were also really good and creative and really fun to watch. So overall, I'm going to give the Boys Diabolical an A. It's not as good as The Boys itself, but overall a pretty solid spin-off and had some cool animations here and there. And I liked it. It was not too bad. So yeah. And now, moving on to the recent Boys spin-off, that is Gen V Season 1. Now, when it comes to Gen V Season 1, this might be the most underrated opinion in this whole video, but I was not a fan of Gen V. It wasn't for me, man. I didn't really like it, didn't really enjoy it, I didn't hate it, I didn't despise it, I didn't think it was terrible, I had some fun moments, you know, it was cool at times. I just thought it was meh. I thought it was kind of mid. Like, yes, it has the same gore and violence and humor that we all kind of expect to see from The Boys. It's just that it's the characters. I didn't really enjoy the characters this time around. The Gen V characters, the teenagers in this college in Godolphin University that we spend the entire show with. Like, I'm not a fan of these characters. I wasn't interested in their stories. I didn't really care. Comparing this show to The Boys, it's really not as good, particularly with the characters. Like, I fucking love the characters from The Boys. Comparing them to, like, Gen V, like, the Gen V characters are really pretty not great compared to the characters from The Boys. The characters from The Boys are amazing. Characters in Gen V, not that amazing. It's still got some funny moments here and there. It just wasn't for me. Like, honestly, the standout moments in this show was Homelander showing up at the very end, and Butcher showing up in a post-credit scene. Those were the parts in the show where I was like, yeah, let's go. That's it. It had some cool moments, and it was brutal at times, and there was some cool cameos from characters from The Boys, and, you know, all that stuff. It's the characters I didn't really enjoy, and the story, and meh. The show was meh. I'm gonna put it in B. I know maybe I didn't really say enough about it, but there's some cool cameos here and there, some cool moments. It's just meh. I just really did not like this much. Yeah, I don't know. I know there's a Gen V Season 2 coming out. I hope that ends up being better than this, because Gen V Season 1 just wasn't for me, man. Didn't really enjoy it. And yeah, this is my tier list ranking of the entire Boys universe. Yeah, hope you like it. Hopefully it's good. You know, I hope you like it. Yeah. Thankfully, nothing ended up in like the C or D area, so I don't think any of these shows are terrible or bad. Obviously, we are going to get more stuff from the Boys universe. We are obviously going to get a Gen V Season 2 that's already been announced, and of course a 5th and final season of the Boys. Can't wait for those. Hopefully they are great, and can't wait to see what we get next in the Boys. And yeah, I hope you like my tier list. I just had to make sure, you know, hopefully you like it, and you don't come visit me or something and try to kill me. Yeah. God damn it!